Okay, everybody. I have been trying to work this one out for a little while, this video, or just have the strength to do it. I got home from the hospital today, yeehaw, but no further improvement. In one of the comments that I read on one of my previous posts about wanting to meet Donald Trump before I die, I still do. Because I don't blame him for this. This is something I have been fighting the system against since 2013. Okay, so for those of you who are wanting to bully and badger over it being Kamala Harris or Trump's fault, I don't care. I'll be honest, I don't care. This fight, this struggle that I have had has been an incredible journey. It's just a painful ending. But I face it, you face it, everybody's gonna face it someday. And I'm okay with that. You know, and you can't tell me it's about instinct to survive. When you're young, maybe. But as you get older, and your body says we're closer to done, you gotta be willing to accept that. And I have no choice but to accept it. Only because the way the system is. But for what it would take for them to fix this 60-year-old body would be nothing more than a medical experiment for science to see if they can save a life of a person's whose body. I'm carrying around 90% of my body is dead weight. Not getting much blood at all. Boy, I feel it, whether I'm moving or not. Now, I spent decades smoking. I wasn't a big drinker and I wasn't a big drug user. I didn't do all that. The cigarettes were enough. And as I sit here now in my house that smells very, very much like cigarettes, the craving hits me a little bit and then it goes away. Let me tell you something. It ain't nothing to play with. And if you have lost so much sight of how bad the system is for everybody, that you will try to attack an old woman. Now, the heretics, you know, the religious fanatics that tell me, well, she better find Jesus before she... Don't even bother. Don't waste your breath. My name is Angelique, not Angel. And the French version of Angélie is the messenger of God. So if you want a message, get off your high-rolling attitudes and humble yourself back down to earth. Because those of you who don't are killing yourselves and you're killing everybody around you. And people who love you, whether you don't love them back or not, is irrelevant. They love you, so they feel it. And if someone to ask me, did I die from a genetic disease? Well, that's what killed my body. But that is not what broke my heart. Not at all. It's the lack of unwillingness for people to forgive the smallest irrelevant things and give up people out of their lives that they should be valuing instead of hating. None of us are perfect. We all have our mental illnesses. I don't care what they say. Now, with what's going on with my body, they basically sent me home to die. And I'm grateful because 10 days, 11 days in that place, it did help my body though. I didn't hear my heart beat in my head all the time. I feel it pounding in my chest. And one day, without my next dose of medicine, because it'll be at least a week before they can get approval for my prescriptions through Christian Charities. So, but it's okay if they don't. There is nothing wrong with growing old and dying. Nothing. It's natural. I know big corporations and that want you to live to be 100. But what is your life like when you're 100 years old? I've been carrying around a dying body since 2013, when they saved my life, through an open heart arterial triple bypass, or whatever they call it. It was all done through the arteries. I mean, they cut me open to get to those arteries and put plastic and tubing and other things in there. But I don't want them to do it now. They're telling me about 90% of my body is blocked, my arteries. And they went and opened up just a little one because it couldn't get in any further. It was going to take an open heart, flay me open again, and try to spend another several months trying to recover with a weak and very damaged heart. The only thing is, whether I get to meet Trump or I don't, it doesn't really matter either way. What I'm hoping is he's going to make the changes that can get our country back to where Americans could get medical care, not have to go through what I have. I'm the example of what the Democrats don't want you to see. Why can't I get my help? Well, it went to somebody else that was not an American. And let me tell you something. That should never have been. I'm not saying don't help others, but don't exclude the people who are paying the bills. And all too many times, when I've had people come live with me, their cost of living never includes the person who's paying their bills. And that doesn't mean they were here illegally or anything. Now I'm talking family and friends. But that was my lesson to learn, and I think I've learned it pretty well. You know, most people would think that it's such a horrible thing. How could they just send you home to die? Well, they do eventually, after they have racked up so many bills and put you through unnecessary procedures that weren't going to save your life in the first place. Now, I had a whole team of doctors, actually, and most of them were quite trustworthy, very good doctors. There were two that were, as the kids say today, sus. And I absolutely knew that the point of what they wanted to do was not about saving my life, because the other three doctors who spoke to me about it absolutely said it was a death sentence. But that would give them the opportunity to open me up and see what was already done, what they could already improve upon. And let me tell you something. The doctors in Lubbock did an amazing job that I made it this long. Now, I joked about this in the hospital. I want you to see it. Oh, if I can get a hold of it. Things don't work quite right. My muscles are really weak. But after they put my stent in, they put this wonderful little barcode thing on my leg. And as you can see, yes, that's my blood. And that's my new part. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm grateful for that new part. You know why? Because I'm sitting right here, right now, making this video with you. And that makes a big, big difference. I know when I laid on that bed and they were working on me and my husband was praying and all I kept thinking to myself was, please, God, let it in, let me die, just get it over with. You know, make the pain stop. Make the pain stop. And the only way to do that, basically, was either to save my ass or let me die. And at one point, I got to the point where I felt I could let go and slide away. And then I heard this young lady, Angel, come on. Angel, open your eyes. I know you can hear me. Come on. So I did. Right back into the deepest gasp of pain. It was unbelievable. But now I know what my mother felt like and what she went through when she died. You should see this. I've got birds flying up on the porch. And there's no bird feed out for them. So, and they're flying up and trying to look in the window. Makes me wonder, am I a ghost already, or... Anyway, I really wanted to make this about, when I started this channel, about my working back, you know, because I had a heart attack 2 years ago, shortly before I started this channel, and I've been on a mega roller coaster ever since. And again, you know, the doctors, after getting all the test results and stuff back, were, how are you still alive? And that was the truth. That was the answer I got. I couldn't get them to tell me how long they thought I had. You know, they don't want to put that date stamp on it and be wrong. You might live longer or die. I wasn't asking for that. I was asking, how long do you think my body can last in its current condition? You know, just like you would a battery. But they're so afraid of that until they declare you terminal, which for some reason they were trying desperately not to do. And wonderful hospital. Wonderful hospital. The staff there can be incredible. Like any hospital, it has its issues. And I only had two. And one was very minor and one was rather serious. But they worked out. They worked out okay. And so I guess I just want to record my last days. So I'm tired of trying to tell people the same things over and over again. That I love them. That I care about them. They already know that. And if they don't, shame on them for blocking it out. Because I do love them and I do care. I have a brother sitting in prison right now, scared to death that his last connection to this world is gone. And I'll message him sometime today. Don't know. I'm still here another day, big brother. I'm still here another day. And I really don't know. I know that when I stand up to walk around, my brain gets high off of just movement. Because it's getting so little blood now. And if this is the way we go, I think people should see it. I think people should know. The only thing traumatic about death is saying goodbye to people you really care about, and for them to let you go. That's the only thing hard about dying. The worst part is if you're going through a painful death, like I was. You know, when I fell down on that bed and I felt my heart squeeze so hard, it was just, it couldn't beat, it couldn't move. None of my body could move. My legs couldn't move. My arms couldn't move. I couldn't speak. I could barely grunt. And I knew how close I was. And all this time I've been wishing my sister was here. But knowing how fragile my sister is when it comes to facing those kind of things, I'm glad she's not here. But that doesn't take away from the suffering of the person I do see around me who is here. And for the first time in all our 25 years of marriage and 30 years together, I'm grateful he's not seeing most of it. He's either at work or asleep. And I think how hard it must be for him to know that one day he's going to come home from work and I'm not going to be, I won't be awake. And I won't be able to be awoke. Those are the things that bother me about dying. Alright guys, I am drawing a blank now, and my brain is really tired. And, I hope that thing stops bleeding soon. But I don't know what I'm going to do. I did try to lay down. But I couldn't find a comfortable position. And, so I'm going to try to figure out a way to come up with, they told me I've got a week before I can get help with any of my other prescriptions. And I know I got to get some kind of diuretic so that I don't, even if I experience the heart failure, I don't experience the congestive heart failure. Because that was cruel. Your whole chest feels like it's on fire. Your heart feels like it's a lava bomb. It's the best way I could explain it. And I don't want anybody to feel that. So, me and this tired brain are going to figure out how to come up with, I think I saw one, $10 would probably get it. And I think I might even be able to have that already in my Cash App. So, when my husband wakes up, I'll ask him to pick it up in the morning. Because, gas ain't cheap and we don't run to town unless it's an absolute necessary. Alright guys, I'm almost 20 minutes in. And for most, I'm sure this is boring as hell. But I want you to know, to me, it's someone listening in, someone caring about my last days. I know there's people out there who love me. But that doesn't, there's just, too many have died off already, so I don't have as many as I used to. Alright, anyway, you know how they say, having a safe place, and to know somebody cares, that's all anybody wants anyway. I guess that's what this video is. American Granny out.